This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The first stock of COVID vaccine will reach Sri Lanka on Wednesday. The president says Sri Lanka will continue to maintain its non-aligned foreign policy. Sri Lanka and the Philippines agreed to focus on new strategies. Samag Janabarvegia is to appoint new office bearers on Monday. In world news, new Brazil coronavirus variant found in nearly half of Amazon city cases. Sports news, second test between Sri Lanka and England is underway in Galle. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says the first stock of COVID vaccine will reach Sri Lanka on Wednesday. He said the first 600,000 stock of vaccine will be provided free of charge by India will be given to 300,000 people. The vaccine will be first given to frontline health workers, armed forces personnel, and to the elders. Arrangements will be made to purchase the vaccine from China and Russia as well. President Rajapaksa also said that the government's political program expects to find solutions to various issues in the regions, but not only to find problems. He said, obtaining views of the people is the objective of the program. He mentioned this at the 7th phase of the government's political program, which is now taking place at Jatapatha Private School at Valalabita Mandagala village in the Kadra district. The president further said that wrong opinions are expressed about the East Container Terminal of the Colombo Harbour. He said Sri Lanka will continue to maintain its non-aligned foreign policy. The president said decisions will be taken to review and abolish agreements that are harmful to the country. He said that civil methods were followed about the MCC agreement. He pointed out that a review committee was appointed and agreement was cancelled since it was harmful to the country. Foreign ministers of Sri Lanka and the Philippines have agreed to focus on new strategies to further strengthen the existing economic, political, social and international relations between the two countries. Agreement was reached yesterday during the telephone conversation Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardene had with Minister of Foreign Affairs Teodoro Locsin to congratulate the government of Philippines on 6th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and the Philippines. The two sides also discussed about the establishment of an embassy of the Philippines in Sri Lanka and the commencement of flights between the two countries. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Philippines agreed to share their best practices in securing employment opportunities for Filipino workers in foreign countries and agreed to identify methods available and to assist Sri Lanka in this endeavour. During the talks, both parties agreed to work together in the manufacturing and services sector and to provide greater opportunities for the exchange of views between the chambers of commerce and industry of the two countries. MP Nalin Bandara Jamaha said the Samag Janabarvegia will appoint new office bearers in 2021 on Monday. MP Jaya Mahana told a press conference yesterday that the party's working committee will meet on Monday to decide on it. He said the working committee will also decide on holding a celebration in March this year to mark the party's first anniversary. Meanwhile, MP Harin Fernandez said the working committee will decide on who should be appointed to the new positions created by the party's new constitution. State Minister Lohan Ratwater says the target is to complete the first phase of the International Gem Centre in Ratnapura within 1.5 years. He said shops and trade centre will be built during the first phase. State Minister Ratwater said facilities including a hotel and a banking system will be set up in the second phase. He further said that a program will be introduced for the future security of gem miners. Former Customs Provincial Division Director Ranjan Kanagasabey was ordered to be acquitted and released from bribery case by the Colombo High Court. The Bribery Commission had filed a case against him for allegedly soliciting and accepting a bribe of 1 million rupees to issue a clearance report pertaining to the goods imported by a vehicle importing private company. Taking into consideration evidence that transpired during a lengthy trial, High Court Judge Aditya Padabandagi observed yesterday that prosecution had failed to prove charges against the accused beyond reasonable doubts. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Pfizer has committed to supply up to 40 million doses of its COVID-19 vaccine this year to World Health Organization back effort to get affordable shots to poor and middle-income countries. The deal is to boost a global program known as COVAX, as wealthy nations have snapped up most of the millions of coming shots. Pfizer and its partner BioNTech last month won the first vaccine emergency authorization from the WHO and the US Food and Drug Administration. Pfizer's 40 million doses for a vaccine requiring 2 doses are a tiny sliver of what needed for COVAX, which aimed to vaccinate billions of people in 92 low and middle-income countries. 787 people COVID have been identified from the country by this morning. 3 of them have arrived from overseas. High number of infected persons were reported from the Gampha district, which is 339. A total of 56,964 COVID patients have been reported from the country so far. 40,616 have been fully recovered from the virus. The number of deaths has increased to 278, with 2 fatalities reported during the 24 hours that ended at 6 a.m. today. And that ends local news for now.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
In his address at the 17th Ministerial Meeting of the Asia Cooperation Dialogue held recently under the theme of New Normal and Safe and Healthy Tourism, Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena stated that Sri Lanka opened its borders after much consultation and preparation, following best practices, keeping safety and security of its citizens as paramount and that of the visitors. Mr. Gunawardena stated that Sri Lanka is committed to the ambitious work plan of the Asia Cooperation Dialogue in line with the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and to promote inclusive growth in the region. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic Toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic Toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchlight, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board said 24-hour water cut has been imposed in several areas of Colombo starting at 9 a.m. today due to the shifting of the raw water transmission pipeline to the Abathale water treatment plant for flood control canal construction. Accordingly, water supply has been interrupted from 9 a.m. today until 9 a.m. tomorrow in Colombo 1 to 3 and Colombo 7 to 12. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
New Brazil coronavirus variant found in nearly half of Amazon city cases. China authorizes Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels if needed. President Biden apologizes for troops sleeping in a car park. A variant of the coronavirus already accounts for about half of the new infections in the Brazilian Amazonian city of Manaus, raised concerns about a greater risk of the spread. A team led by immunologist Esther Sabino collected genomic data from COVID-19 tests in Manus that indicated 42% of the confirmed cases were infected by the new variant, which has mutations similar to the British land and South African variants. China has passed a law for the first time that explicitly allows its Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels, and a move that could make the contested South China Sea and nearby waters choppier. China has maritime sovereignty disputes with Japan, the East China Sea, and is also with several Southeast Asian countries in South China Sea. According to draft wording in the bill published, the Coast Guard is allowed to use all necessary means to stop or prevent threats from the foreign vessels. President Joe Biden has apologized after some members of the National Guard stationed at the U.S. Capitol were pictured sleeping in a car park. More than 25,000 troops were deployed to Washington, D.C. for its inauguration after violence earlier this month. Images spread showing them forced to rest in a nearby parking garage after lawmakers returned. The conditions sparked anger among politicians, and some state governors recalled troops over the controversy. And back to the headline for the world news. New Brazil coronavirus variant found in nearly half of Amazon city cases. China authorizes Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels if needed. President Biden apologizes over troops sleeping in a car park. That was world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News report of the committee appointed to obtain recommendations to increase efficiency of the Jawadharpur Hospital was handed over to the Health Minister Paitha Vaniarachi. The report containing the recommendations of the committee appointed to look into the current functioning of Jawadharpur Hospital and to obtain recommendations to increase its efficiency was handed over to the Health Minister yesterday. That is Development News. On to Sports News. Today, the second day of the second test between Sri Lanka and England in Galle. Batting first, Sri Lanka was 313 for 6 wickets at lunch today. Angelo Matthews scored 110. Dinesh Chandimal 52. Niroshan Dikwella was not out on 78. The entire Olympic movement is united in its determination to ensure the Tokyo Games happen in July and August. The National Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach said in a video message to mark the 6-month countdown to the opening ceremony. Britain's Times reported yesterday that Tokyo was looking to get out of hosting the Games. The Japanese government dismissed the report. That was Sports News. On to business news. Chairman Ashok Pathrage said Sri Lankan Airlines will add to Moscow to their destinations from next month to bring in more tourists to Sri Lanka. He said in addition, they will also add more frequency to the current destinations to help bring in more tourists as well as Sri Lankan expatriates based overseas. Meanwhile, County Manager for Emirates Chandana De Silva said they are operating 4 flights per week and would look at increasing frequency depending on demand, which is increasing. That was business news. Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Sri Lanka's stocks have risen 24.9% in 2021, leaving investors 339 billion rupees richer in the first 20 days of the year. In a week to January 22nd, stock values gained 318 billion rupees compared to 109 billion rupees for the whole of 2020. According to Bloomberg, Colombo Stock Exchange's all-share price index overtook Hanoi Stock Exchange in Vietnam, which is up 18.2% so far in 2021 in Vietnam dong and 18.34% in US dollar terms. Sri Lanka is only behind Venezuela, which is up 44.6%. That was economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to the weather. Met Department says a few showers will occur in the eastern and Uva provinces. Showers and shall occur at few places in the Sabaragamu and western provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, central and Sabaragamu provinces in the morning tomorrow. That will be the report, and back to the headline of the news. The first stock of COVID vaccine arrived in Sri Lanka on Wednesday. President says Sri Lanka will continue to maintain its underlying foreign policy. Sri Lanka and the Philippines agreed to focus on new strategies. Samagila Belvegi to appoint new office bearers on Monday. In world news, new Brazil coronavirus variant found in nearly half of Amazon city cases. Sports news, second test between Sri Lanka and England is underway in Galle. With that, we end the news. Time 1:30. You're tuned to Radio Sri Lanka.